AI is no longer just about answering questions, it's about taking action. AI agents can plan, decide, and execute tasks just like an intelligent assistant. Hello everyone, welcome back to Logical Lenses. In this video, we'll break down how AI agents work, how they integrate with tools like LLMs, and why they are shaping the future of automation. Let's get started. So, what exactly is an AI agent? At its core, an AI agent is an autonomous system that can perceive its environment, that is, gathering information, makes decisions using logic, rules, or machine learning, plan a course of action to achieve a goal, act by actually executing real world tasks, and most importantly, learn and improve over time. Think of an AI agent like a personal assistant. Instead of just telling you it's raining outside, it checks your calendar, sees you have a meeting, books a cab for you, and even notifies your colleague that you'll be delayed. It actively makes decisions and executes them. Okay, before we think about building an AI agent, we need to be clear on two things: its goal and its environment. First, the goal. That is, what exactly is this AI supposed to do? Because if it doesn't have a clear goal, it's just going to be another automation tool doing some random tasks. For example, a customer service AI is built to resolve support tickets quickly. A finance AI is all about managing expenses and investments efficiently. And a smart home AI is about making sure your electricity uses is optimized and your security is handled automatically. Now, the second thing is environment. That is, where is this AI operating? Because, see, not all AIs work in the same kind of space. Some AIs have access to structured, well organized data, while others have to deal with messy, unpredictable information. Some work in fixed control environments like inside an IT system or a factory where everything is predictable. Others are out in the real world dealing with chaotic, constantly changing data like in stock trading or e commerce. And of course, there are always constraints like things like privacy rules, security concerns, or even how fast the AI needs to make decisions. For example, a stock trading AI agent works in a fast, constantly changing market. It has to make decisions in milliseconds. But a personal finance AI inside your banking app, that's different. It's slower, has to be extra careful with transactions, and follows strict security rules. So before we build anything, we need to first understand what the AI is supposed to do and where it will operate. That way, we don't just build some fancy things, we build something actually useful. Alright, so now that we know what the AI is supposed to do and where it operates, the next big question is, how does it plan and make decisions? Because without a plan, even the smartest AI will just end up confused. See, AI agents don't just start doing things randomly. They need a proper plan, just like how we plan things in daily life. Imagine you are planning a wedding. You won't just start booking things left and right, isn't it? First, you decide the venue, then the food, you prepare the guest list, then you think about the decorations and timings, etc. etc. You break it into steps so that nothing goes wrong. That's exactly how an AI agent works. It takes a big goal and breaks it into smaller steps so that it doesn't get stuck halfway. Now, how does an AI actually do this? Well, that depends on what kind of task it's handling. Not every AI agent plans the same way. Some use one method, some combine multiple ones. For example, let's say you have to write a research paper on climate change. If your teacher just tells you, write about climate change, you'll be lost. You won't know where to start, what to focus on, and how to structure it. But if your teacher breaks it down, that is, if she tells you, first research temperature trends, then study the causes, then the effects, and finally solutions, that would be more clear to you. That's exactly what LLMs do for AI agents. They take big, broad goals and break them into smaller, manageable steps. But not all AI agents work like this. Some need to evaluate options and make a choice. Like a food delivery app deciding which driver should take the order. It considers multiple factors: who is nearby, who is free, which route to take, which is faster. That's where decision trees comes in. where it's all about structured choices. And then we have AI agents that deal with unpredictable situations, where they can't rely on fixed rules. Think of a self driving car. It can't just say, if you see a pedestrian, always stop. What if the pedestrian is just standing on the sidewalk? Instead, the AI needs to calculate the probability. Is this person about to cross or not? That's where Bayesian networks comes in. They help the AI deal with uncertainty and make smarter real-time decisions. Now, do all AI agents use all three methods? Not really. Some AI agents are simple. If the task is straightforward, they just use decision trees. If there is uncertainty involved, like predicting stock prices, they might use LLMs and Bayesian networks together. And if it's something really advanced, like a smart assistant or a self driving car, then it will probably use all three, constantly adjusting and making decisions on the fly. So, planning isn't just about having a checklist, it's about making sure the AI actually does something useful, whether it's solving a simple problem or handling a complex real time situation. Alright, so now the AI has a roadmap. It knows what needs to be done and in what order. But just having a plan isn't enough. It still needs to make decisions at every step. And just like us, AI agents don't always decide in the same way. Sometimes the answer is straightforward, other times it needs to recognize patterns, and in some cases, it has to pick the best option from many possibilities. Think about it. Some decisions are simple. If the temperature in your room goes above 25 degrees centigrade, your AC turns on. There's no thinking involved. It just follows a fixed rule. That's exactly how rule-based systems work. The AI just follows instructions, no learning, no extra processing. But not everything in life is that predictable, right? Some decisions need experience. A fraud detection system, for example, can't just say if a transaction is above 50,000 flag it. What if the person is just buying a laptop? Instead, the AI looks at past transactions, spending patterns, and behavior to decide whether something looks suspicious. That's where machine learning comes in. It learns from data instead of just following rules. Then there are cases where there is no single right answer, but multiple choices. And the AI has to figure out the best one. Like when you check Google Maps for directions, there's not just one way to get there. The AI looks at traffic, distance, and estimated time before suggesting the best route. It's not just guessing, it's optimizing the choice in real time. And then you have AI that doesn't just follow rules or learn patterns. It learns from experience, trial and error. Self driving cars are a great example. They don't just memorize roads and traffic rules, they improve by driving, making mistakes, and adjusting over time. This is called reinforcement learning, where the AI learns what works and what doesn't by interacting with the real world. Some AI agents also need to work together, like in an automated warehouse. One AI manages inventory, another handles packaging, another schedules delivery. They can't work in isolation, they have to coordinate their decisions. This is where multi agent decision making comes in. Instead of just making independent choices, the AI system talks to each other and adjusts their actions accordingly. And what if AI doesn't have all the information? Say a self driving car suddenly sees a person standing on the sidewalk. Will they cross? Should the car slow down? The AI doesn't know for sure, so it has to calculate probabilities and make the best possible decision in that moment. That's how AI handles uncertainty. It doesn't need a perfect answer, just the most reasonable one based on available data. So AI decision making isn't just one thing. Sometimes it follows rules, sometimes it learns from patterns, sometimes it picks the best option, sometimes it improves with experience, and sometimes it makes smart guesses in uncertain situations. It all depends on what kind of problem the AI is solving. And that's why AI agents aren't just about automation. They think, adapt, and make real decisions just like we do. Okay, so we have talked about how AI agents plan and make decisions, but just thinking and deciding isn't enough, right? The AI actually has to do something. It needs to act, interact with the systems, fetch data, and execute tasks. Otherwise, it's just like a person sitting and overthinking without taking any action. Now, here's the thing: AI agents don't work alone. Just like we use different tools to get work done, like emails, Google Docs, messaging apps, etc., AI agents also need to talk to different systems to complete their tasks. For example, let's say you are chatting with a customer support AI about a billing issue. It's not just thinking about what to say, it actually needs to check your account details. So, first, it pulls up your history from a database. Maybe it also needs to fetch a PDF invoice from cloud storage. If there's an issue with your payment, it might even call an API to check with the payment provider. And finally, it doesn't just dump all this technical info on you. It uses an LLM to explain the solution in a way you understand. See what's happening here. The AI isn't just sitting in a vacuum, it's actively communicating with the real world systems to get things done. And here's another thing: AI agents need to remember stuff. Think about it. If every time you spoke to a customer support agent, they forgot your issue the moment you ended the chat, that would be annoying, right? Same with AI. Unlike something like ChatGPT, which forgets the conversation after you close the chat, AI agents need memory. For example, let's say you have an AI assistant that helps manage your budget. If it notices that every month in the last week you end up overspending on food deliveries, it should remember that, right? So next month, instead of just reacting, it proactively warns you before you overspend. That's how memory makes AI agent more useful over time. And this memory works in different ways. Some things the AI only need to remember for a short time, like an ongoing request. But other things, like your spending patterns or customer history, need to be stored for a longer term so that AI can learn and adapt. So, in the end, AI agents don't just think, they actually act, connect with different tools, and remember things so they become smarter over time. That's what makes them way more powerful than simple automation or chatbots. All right, so we have talked about how AI agents plan, make decisions, and interact with different tools. But here's the thing: AI doesn't just make one decision and stop. It works in a loop, constantly observing, deciding, acting, and learning, just like we do in daily life. Imagine you have an AI personal assistant. Before it can help you, the first thing it does is look around. It needs to collect information before making any decisions. So it starts calling different tools. It checks your calendar to see what meetings you have today, looks up the weather to see if it's raining, and fetches real time traffic data to see if you'll need extra travel time. If there's a last minute change, it might even scan your emails to see if your manager has scheduled something urgent. It does all this by making API call in the background, pulling data from calendar services, weather APIs, navigation systems, and even email integrations. Now that it has all this information, it needs to decide what to do. And this is where things get interesting. It's not just making random choices, it's using AI techniques to decide the best action. If there's heavy traffic, it follows a rule based system. Send a reminder to leave 15 minutes early. But if it knows that you tend to ignore reminders, then it uses machine learning to analyze your past behavior and thinks, alright, this person delays often, so I'll send a stronger alert 30 minutes before. And if you have multiple transport options, cab, metro, or bike, it doesn't just guess, it runs an optimization algorithm comparing travel time, cost, and convenience to pick the best option. Then comes the action. That is, it actually does something. It sends a push notification, books a cab through a ride sharing API, or even reschedules your meeting via a calendar API if it sees you won't make it on time. Instead of just showing you information, it's actually executing commands and automating tasks. But here's where it gets even smarter: it learns. Let's say you ignored its reminder and left late anyway. Or maybe you didn't take the cab and went by metro instead. The AI remembers that. Next time, it might automatically suggest the metro first because that's what you seem to prefer. Or if it sees that you always delay despite reminders, it might change its approach, maybe sending a WhatsApp message instead of a notification, or even triggering a voice call through an assistant API to make sure you don't miss your meeting. And this cycle keeps running: perceive, decide, act, learn. Every time it interacts with you, it improves. And what's happening under the hood? It's fetching real time data from APIs, applying decision models, executing tasks, and storing patterns in memory. So it's not just a dumb assistant that repeats the same thing every day, it actually gets better over time. And that's the real difference between an AI agent and basic automation. It doesn't just follows rules, it adapts, optimizes, and evolves with every interaction. A lot of people hear the term AI agent and immediately think, oh, it's just like ChatGPT with extra steps. Or they assume it's just fancy automation like a chatbot that can do a bit more. But here's the thing: AI agents are completely different. They are not just talking AI and they are not just pre programmed workflow. They actually perceive, plan, take action, and adapt, which neither traditional automation nor LLMs can do on their own. Take ChatGPT for example. It's brilliant at answering questions, generating ideas, and helping with research. But once the chat ends, it forgets everything. You could have the most detailed conversation with it, and the next time you start a new chat, it's like you are meeting for the first time. There's no real memory, no ability to take action. It's just generating text based on patterns. And that's the thing. LLMs excel at language understanding and generation, but that's just one piece of a much bigger system. AI agents actually use LLMs as a tool with a larger system that can perceive, plan, and act. They don't just stop at responding, they execute real world tasks. Now, traditional automation is other extreme. It doesn't think at all. It just follows predefined steps. Let's say you have an automated workflow that books flight. If everything goes exactly as expected, it works fine. But the moment there is a delay, price change, or a special request, it breaks because it can't adapt. It's following just a script. That's the biggest limitation of traditional workflows. They are rigid and predefined. AI agents, on the other hand, are dynamic and adaptive. They can learn from the past decisions, adjust to new conditions, and optimize their actions in real time. Let's say you need to book a flight, a chatbot could just tell you the best flights available. An AI agent looks at your past preferences, checks whether you prefer early morning or evening flights, compares prices, books the ticket for you, and if there is a delay, it rebooks automatically. It's not just dumping information on you, it's actually handling tasks the way a human assistant would. And this is the real difference. AI agents are goal driven. They don't just generate responses or follow fixed workflows. They have a clear objective and they figure out how to achieve that goal, even if things change along the way. That's what makes them powerful. It's not just responding to queries, it's about thinking, acting, and continuously improving. Now, of course, AI agents aren't perfect. There are real challenges in building them. One of the biggest is real time decision making. Unlike a chatbot that just generates text, an AI agent has to take actions, sometimes in unpredictable environments. Then there's scalability. If you have thousands of agents running, how do you manage them efficiently? And of course, security and privacy. Since AI agents interact with external systems, they need to be built with proper safeguards to avoid misuse. So, what's the future of AI agents? Despite these challenges, AI agents are evolving fast. Today, they are handling customer support, financial decisions, workflow automation, but soon we'll see AI agents that can collaborate with each other, acting like digital co-workers that can manage complex projects without human supervision. Imagine AI agents handling entire business operations, scientific research, or even automating creative work. This is where AI is headed. So, what do you think? Are AI agents the future of work, or do they still have a long way to go? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to see a hands on tutorial on building AI agents, let me know. Maybe we can dive into coding in a future video.